And then the shooting, like, I don't even know if you know much about the shooting, but the shooting lasted 14 hours.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It lasted 14 hours, and it took place over 150 kilometers.
What?
Yeah, the guy was he bought a retired police cruiser, and then made it look exactly like an RCMP cruiser.
Jesus.
And then he also had an RCMP, like an authentic RCMP uniform.
Wow.
So, like, that's, like, a lot of the shooting was, like, he would just, like, go to people's houses. Like, the shooting was weird because it was, like, mixed, like, with people that he knew, like, personally, and just random people.
Wait, so he would, like, just show up at people's houses and shoot them or something?
Well, yeah, he'd, like, drive in, and then he'd fucking have, like, the lights going on the cruiser and shit, and just be dressed like a cop. So, like, even if he knew him, you know, this was, like, middle of the night, 2 in the morning. When you get up and you see a cop standing at the door with the police lights on and shit, you're going to go answer the door,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You're not going to think that this guy's going to blow my fucking face off, but that's what he was doing.
Wow.
Like, he was doing shit like that. He was pulling people over on the highway, just shooting them point blank.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, he killed an RCMP officer. He shot another one. But, like, and he lit, like, fucking a couple houses on fire. Like, he lit his, like, and, like, some of the reasoning behind, like, what he was doing, like, what the psychiatrists are saying he was, is they call him, like, he's like a injustice collector, is what they were saying.
What does that mean?
No, it just means that he was, like, every little thing he would think was, like, a slight against him. Like, shit, like one of the reasons he lit this fucking dude's house on fire because he thought that the guy copied the tile on his house.
What?
So that was, like, one of the reasons why he lit that place on fire. Another person, he killed this, like, school teacher and lit her house on fire, not because of her, but because his uncle that he had a legal dispute with used to live in the house, like, 5 years before that.
Damn.
And just did it because it used to be his house.
Did he end up killing himself at the end of all this?
No, the fucking RCMP fucking shot the fucking million holes into him.
Oh.
At a gas station out in Enfield. Like, this is what's fucking... And this is what I'm saying. Like, they didn't even find him right. Like, he went to the gas station in Enfield to refuel his car because he was headed towards Dartmouth. And when he fucking was getting the gas, the fucking tactical, like, the RCMP SWAT team pulled up to get gas themselves.
Oh my god.
Like, they didn't even know he was there. They just pulled up to get gas too, and then they got out and they saw him there, and they were like, oh fuck, and they just shot the shit out of him.
Yeah, that's shoddy workmanship right there, especially on the police part.
But this was the biggest, like, thing in Nova Scotia, like, whatever he was talking about. It was like, they didn't use the fucking provincial alert system to tell people that this was even happening.
Right.
Like, it went on for 14 hours. They used Twitter. They literally, the RCMP made a statement. They were like, we thought that we could reach more people using Twitter.
That makes no sense.
Yes, and this is out in rural Nova Scotia. Like, it's not in fucking, you know, in Toronto where everybody, like,
yeah.
For one, you need to have Twitter, and then second of all, you have to follow the fucking goddamn Nova Scotia RCMP on Twitter.
Yeah, and the majority of people don't have Twitter. You know, like, if you're older than, like, 30 years old, you're more than likely not on Twitter.
Dude, I'm 25 and I don't have a fucking Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, like, how dumb of a statement is, oh, we thought we could reach more people with Twitter. Like, no, you're fucking stupid. Literally everybody has a cell phone nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much everybody does.
No, like, literally everybody has a cell phone.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and like, this alert system that I'm talking about, like, isn't even just like, on your phone. It sends it to your computer, it sends it to your TV, and it sends it over the radio. It's over everything. So it's like, why the fuck would you not use that?
Yeah.
Like, that's why one of the victims' like, husbands was, like, on the news the next day, like, bawling his eyes out, being like, you know, we knew, because they saw it on Twitter, you know, because it started at, like, 1 in the morning, and they saw it on, like, oh, there was an active shooting, and that's it.
Right.
And then they wake up 8 hours later to go to work, and his wife's going to work thinking it's all over, because who thinks that that's going to last 14
hours?
And she's on the way to work and gets pulled over by the guy, and he fucking blows her head off.
Wow.
Like, so, like, he was, like, super pissed. Like, why would you not use this fucking, like, we knew. Like, if we knew that it was still happening, she wouldn't have went to work.
Yeah, that's so fucked up. I didn't know it was, this intense. I thought it was just like a quick shooting in a mass group.
There's still a bunch of crazy shit coming out about it because like the courts like hold all the shit and the RCMP is so like just holding everything. There's shit coming out like that he could have potentially been a fucking RCMP informant or like or an agent or some shit like working for them because like a couple days before the like not that they had like I'm not saying that the RCMP knew this was going to happen or wanted this to happen, but it's just that people are starting to think. There's evidence coming out that he could have potentially been working for them because apparently he had like a bunch of friends in the Hells Angels and shit. And like his next door neighbor was like this guy that was involved with like Colombian fucking cartels and shit that just got out of prison like 2 years ago and was actually the guy that made the decals for his fucking fake RCMP cruiser.
Wow.
There's that, and like one of the biggest things that two or 3 days before the shooting happened, he withdrew $450,000 from a Brinks, like just a Brinks location, which apparently isn't, what I've read, apparently isn't legal, or you can't do that as just a normal person, and that is the exact way that the RCMP pays out its informants for specific things.
Wow. So it's like a whole conspiracy theory now.
Well, it's like I'm not saying I believe that.
Right.
Shit, I don't know. There's it's also been confirmed the dude was a millionaire. So it's like I don't know. Maybe he's just like a lot of people are saying that he was just really. There was another expert that was talking about being like the RCMP would never pay an informant that much, especially for like people speculating that it had something to do with the Hells Angels, and the Hells Angels haven't been prevalent in Nova Scotia since the fucking 90s. Like they do have a chapter that's fucking really struggling to fucking try to regain power in the province, but it's nowhere near what it used to be like in the 90s.
Yeah.
And like this is like an RCMP expert that's just like, yeah, they wouldn't fucking, they would never give out $500,000 for a stupid little fucking tiny chapter of the Hells Angels in Nova Scotia.
Right.
But and the guy was a millionaire, so I don't know. He obviously had the money for that, and he was obviously paranoid and fucked up. And people said he was extremely paranoid about the pandemic and everything.
Why was he a millionaire? What did he do?
He was a denturist.
Oh.
He made fucking dentures for people. But I think he had multiple businesses. Like, that's something, too. Is like, in Dartmouth, his denture clinic, like, everybody knew it because it had these, like, big, dumbass novelty teeth on the fucking side of it.
Uh-huh.